thought it might be good to start at least with introductions on who's here and why. I don't think why we think we're important, but why they should listen.
Well, me and you know we're not important, so there's who's here.
Yeah,
we've got
roll call,
right?
Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Tim.
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell people why you're here? Other than the fact that Larry twisted your arm to be here.
Larry made me. Well, my name is Dave Lemley. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been involved in quizzing. Well, my son got me involved, so that would be about 10 years. I sat on the sidelines for the first 6. I got to keep score in the 7th, and then I was thrown into coaching and didn't know anything. In our last year of quizzing, we were able to win a national championship, which was pretty exciting. Never did I dream that would ever happen. And then from then on, since 17, I just kept involved in quizzing. I love Bible quizzing, and I think everybody should give it a shot, old or young. And that about sums it up for me.
Larry.
Yes.
You started this thing. Why are we here?
I'm the idea. Yeah. Well, we're here basically to hopefully bring attention to the study guide as a resource that I think is really sometimes undervalued as well as unnoticed because it seems to be, because to be honest, I never noticed it, at least the first few years I was involved with Bible Quiz, and heard about it, but I never knew where to find it. And but it's a great study tool, I think, for the coaches to use to do a study group with their kids, as well as even the kids to read, because it gives meaning to the text and to the scripture that I think really helps in the memorization, as well as it's just a valuable resource. And me personally, I've been involved with quiz for about a little over 20 years. TBQ just as probably the last 15. And mainly as a photographer, but mainly JBQ is where my game is. But I was always looking for ways to recruit new adults, and I think this is a great tool to do, and needs to be reviewed in some way to make it easier for people to accept in the YouTube fashion that people are used to today. So,
in the YouTube fashion,
that's me. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's stuck to their phones, and the YouTube videos. I don't know about you guys, but YouTube becomes a part of my content sometimes daily, and often it's a nice resource to watch other than TV because you can always find something new there. So,
okay.
Anyway.
All right, I'm going to introduce myself because I'm going to save the best for last, and I'm Tim.
Yeah.
And like Dave's done some YouTube things. He's done some other Bible quiz related video, and we've enjoyed that. Back in the day, kids today wouldn't know it, but I did a podcast for 10 years on Bible quiz. And I'm a district coordinator, been around Bible quiz a lot. But what's got me really excited is we've got Micah here. And for a very special reason. Hi, Micah.
Yes. So I've been in Bible quiz since I was in 2nd grade. I've gone nonstop since, coached, officiated, done just about everything. But a year and a half ago, I was asked if I wanted to do, well, a little over about 2 years ago, I was asked if I wanted to do the study guide over Matthew. But I have my undergraduate was a biblical studies and pastoral studies from Trinity Bible College. And then my master's was from Southwestern Assembly of God University in Bible and theology. I love the Bible. I love studying the Bible. I love finding things in the Bible. And so I always want other people to do that too. And so they're like, do you want to write this? I was like, yes. They're like, all right, well, here's your time frame. I'm like, okay, works for me. Yeah, I've written this one. I'm actually working on next year's as well. But I really enjoy Matthew. It's one of my favorite books in the New Testament, behind John probably. But it has a lot of content, and it was really hard to write this and not go on for 300 pages. So they wanted a 1 page per chapter, and I said, that's not happening. Not happening.
Yeah, I've been interested as I've been reading the study guide, how concise you've tried to be. And I could tell it's like, oh, I've got so much more to say, but I got to condense it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
Now, back in the day, George Edgerly was and even before that, I think there were other writers, but probably the most famous study guide writer was George Edgerly, who wrote for years. Did you go back and look at some of those study guides and?
Not as much.
As far as style or anything?
Pastor Bernie did send me some stuff that he was like, this is sort of the style we're looking for it to follow into, and here's some of your guidelines on what we do want. And then he just sort of left it up to me. I tend to find that if I spend too much time reading other people's stuff first, then I'll just start repeating them instead of writing. So I tried to start writing, and then when I ran into issues, I would go and look at my commentaries and the other study guides and stuff, just to give me a bit more of a answer to what I had. Again, I've been studying the Bible since I was in second grade, so for me, a lot of this I've already done. I've preached through the Gospel of Matthew before as well, so it's been it was almost a refresher on this one, just because I was able to go back and pull up some of the stuff that I had done before, talked about. But again, I had to sort of review it based on the audience and the time I had. I didn't have a 45 minutes or an hour sermon to work with. I had to keep it down to a couple pages.
Yeah. So was there a particular, like a particular target age that you're going after when you're writing this?
Yeah, we really want to focus on the 6th, 7th graders, the XP level. We were wanting it to try to bring it down to that level where they could understand it, but yet it still has content because if they can understand it, then the older people, the adults, the coaches and stuff can understand it as well, because it'll be, the hardest thing for me was trying to balance, like, how much Bible knowledge does someone have? Did they have the background that I have? So I'm just like, oh yeah, that story in the Old Testament, or do I need to explain it? But yet on the other hand, you're like, I can't spend hours and hours explaining each story. So I needed to sort of create that balance. Like, I presume you know something about the Bible, and here's the verses where you could look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, but here's the concise basis of it. We're actually working through this with our quizzers right now, so it's been interesting to see how, if there's things I need to adjust moving forwards for next year's, because they're not getting how I'm putting it or the style that's being done.
Okay.
Hopefully, this is an improving project over the years.
Well, it looks great to me so far.
Yeah, you did an awesome job.
One of the questions I had was, and I know you went over it briefly, but did you have anybody help you as far as maybe editing or anything like that, or as far as when you put this thing together?
I did not. My wife was actually going to help me with editing, but then things got crazy right at the end, so I did my own editing. And as I was reading this for the video today, I noticed I missed something already. So we'll see how many other mistakes we find as we go.
Okay. Well,
this is your chance to correct that.
That's right. You can point those out.
you.